Hey guys, welcome. The long-awaited road for 4.0 is finally at an end, but this is a new beginning. In the next few hours, 4.0 Live is going to hit in a parallel live universe. Here is a letter from Chairman himself. Alpha 4.0 will be released soon to live servers as part of a 4.0 preview channel. Expected release is within 12 hours from this post. So the post has been released at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So before 2 a.m. December 20th Pacific time, we will see 4.0 gates open in a parallel live build, which is called the 4.0 preview channel. So because of this, there are a few questions that must be answered. What about the progress? So let's keep reading this post. For the first time in our history, we will run 2 live releases in parallel, each with their own progress and persistence. This means you will have the unique opportunity to choose which version you want to dive into, at least for a little while. At this stage, we both want and need the high traffic of a live release to thoroughly test server meshing and the newly refactored systems that rely on it as they go through their final paces. We acknowledge that we did not have time to get all the mission types working before our holiday break, which is why we have decided to temporarily support 2 parallel live tracks. Alpha 3.24.3 will remain available so you can play the missions and engage in game loops that are not working to our new playability standards in 4.0. Meanwhile, the 4.0 preview will also be accessible from your launcher as a second live option. If you're not interested in previewing 4.0, you can simply select Alpha 3.24.3 from the drop-down and continue enjoying the current live build. So from this post, we know that 4.0 preview channel is not PTU build. It's a live build. It's a parallel live build. However, for this 4.0 live build, we do not have the high playability standard yet. Especially, a lot of the missions do not work. So this is a solution Seiji found in order to release 4.0 before the holidays, with certain compromises in the playability of the 4.0 preview build. But this is regarded as a parallel live build. Now, the question, very important question is, what about the mission progress? If I earn money to buy ships in 4.0 preview, will that progress be carried all the way? Continue reading. This may feel like our usual PTU process, but there is one key difference. By running both builds on the live environment, we can take steps to ensure that your progression on 4.0 will carry over. Our goal is for anything you do and earn in 4.0 preview to persist without any further wipes, unless something major happens, though we do not anticipate that. Now, we have 2 passes. 4.0 preview is going to be the new live build. Maybe after 4.0 gets more stable, more playable, 4.0 preview channel will become the new live channel, and the 3.24.3, the parallel universe, will simply die out in the future, in the near future, maybe early next year when 4.0 preview gets up to standard. And then this is going to be our new path all the way to the next major patch, all the way to Star Citizen 1.0. That's why whatever you do in the 3.24.3, the progression will not be recorded, will not carry over to 4.0. Continue on. That said, it is important to note that progress made in Alpha 3.24.3 will remain tied to that version and will not transfer to 4.0. Yes, that's what we talk about. This allows us to maintain a clean slate for the new systems coming online in the 4.0 preview, ensuring a consistent and stable environment as we look to depreciate 3.24.3 in the new year. So sad. 3.24.3 is going to be depreciated. But a new gate has opened. This is a new beginning for Star Citizen. This is a moment for a milestone. As you navigate through Stanton and Pyro, you are now also navigating seamlessly through a mesh of servers that encompasses the entire game. Each planet, landing zone, or major station is now covered by different game servers, thanks to this technology, which is called server meshing, static server meshing. Server boundaries are effectively... Oh, we just got a Star Citizen launcher update. This is a new version. If you've seen this message, please update your launcher as well. Version 2.1.1. Server boundaries are effectively invisible, even at our high levels of fidelity, ensuring smooth, uninterrupted gameplay. This means that server performance, playability, and overall health are now local to each of the nodes in the server mesh. Even dreaded servers crashes are now localized to those regions, with players in other areas of space or on planets unaffected. It also means improved performance, as each server is simulating fewer entities, resulting in more responsiveness and allowing the game we are striving to create to finally shine through its content. Now, this is the core for 4.0. This is the core of the milestone for Star Citizen, server meshing. We have been testing server meshing for so long, from endless server crashes, endless server errors. Look back of the way that you've tested from Ivacati, from months ago, even years ago. Look at those hard times that we've been through. The past couple days when we playing 4.0 EPTU, it was very, very smooth. Of course, there's still Star Citizen bugs, a lot of bugs. But as in terms of this server meshing core tech, this is a definite success. Step 1. CIG did it. To all the naysayers saying all the negative things about this game, I will give you a solid yes. But this is only a beginning, a new beginning. This is the best time to pick up this game and play, and helping CIG to develop this game into what it can be. Continue on. 4.0 is not just 3.24.3 with server meshing. It also includes a lot of new content. With the addition of Pyro, we have further pushed our reputation system to include 2 competing mission chains that allow you to align with either headhunters or citizens for prosperity. This means areas that were previously neutral will become hostile or friendly depending on your choice. This decision will become even more important next year as we start to put a greater focus on storytelling inside the verse. Headhunters and citizens for prosperity, this is only one competing reputation. There is another which is called Xenothreat and Rough and Ready Game. We have also introduced contested zones within the major stations in Pyro, each heavily manned by a game faction, Fire Rats, Horizon, or Xenothreat. These large, sprawling locations offer high-quality reward in the depths of their vaults, but you will need to contend with the current occupants and either help or battle your fellow players. They are also home to the mysterious Pyro Agglomerate component boards, which some say can lead to even greater rewards, which are the account-bound ships. This type of content is an important milestone as we start to introduce different ways of players to progress in the game, with reputation and physical rewards being something we aim to push even further in future patches. Now, this is something that's very practical. It's most needed. 2025, a focus on playability. As we jump into the new year, our primary focus across our Star Citizen teams is clear: improving playability. Our drive for playability surrounds 3 critical areas: performance, stability, and content. We understand that the live environment must be far more reliable and consistent, and we are determined to deliver on this. Actually, not really. Have you played live in the recent days? It's really horrible. This is the truth, at least from my experience. The sentiment many of you have shared, and one we wholeheartedly agree with, is that if the current game as it stands today runs smoothly with fewer obstacles and bugs, it would provide an unparalleled experience. How true that is. Over the years, we have experimented with different approaches to improve quality of life and tackling each debt. However, the ongoing challenge has been balancing these efforts alongside the introduction of new features and technology. Too often, testing new features within the same pipeline as content has led to unintended ripple effects, creating instability, hindering performance, and impacting overall gameplay. In some cases, new features that are not fully mature have delayed the release of content or caused blockers that impact our progress. This has prompted us to reevaluate our approach to feature content rollout, focusing on steps that we can take to bring the game to a better state while maintaining steady delivery. Wow. I want to imagine that during 2025 CitizenCon, that CAG, instead of talking about all the fancy features like years ahead, how about talk about how we resolved the problems currently, how we made the game more stable, how we found out this bug, how we solved this bug, how we almost permanently resolved certain bugs that keep appearing, and made the game a lot more playable. If CAG can dedicate a panel just for that, imagine the goodwills they will gain from the existing Star Citizen players. And imagine the new players they can attract to this game. Because that playability is a #1 priority for this game, even in an alpha state. To achieve this goal, we are making a fundamental change, decoupling feature development from content creation and general fixes. This means new features will no longer hold up content delivery or risk destabilizing the live environment. This approach will leverage the tech preview channel, which was reserved for major new pieces of technology like the replication layer and server meshing, will now extend to gameplay feature testing too. When a new feature is deemed complex or risky enough to require focused testing, we will introduce a separate experimental EPTU channel dedicated to that feature. Testing in this isolated channel will allow us to refine and stabilize the feature without impacting content and broader development work. Only once the feature is fully greenlit will it integrate into our standard Evo PTU live pipeline. Nice. This means we will have more stability and predictability in our ongoing game releases, as the main development stream will not be disrupted by untested features still being worked on. Instead, the team can focus on improving stability, performance, and QoL. Alongside this playability initiative, we are also trying to gather our content releases so that they feel more connected to the world. This means each new content drop will be more focused and drive an overall narrative forward, similar to our Overdrive and Save Standard events. This content will then unlock new and powerful rewards, including ships, armors, and weapons that you can play to earn. Nice. You know, when these events are tied with ship upgrades, especially ship upgrades, then these events will have more incentive to play. We are taking this approach to deliver more things to do more often than we have in the past, where we have frequently been held hostage by tech or feature work that has taken longer than anticipated. Our objective is to make Star Citizen more stable, more performant, and more fun this coming year. So I am really excited for 2025, and I believe that CIG will step into reality and first make this game more playable, because this is a game and you want to play. Nobody wants to play an unplayable game. Everyone wants to play a playable game. And this is a video game. Make it playable first. Even in an alpha game, make it a playable alpha game before we reach Star Citizen 1.0. In the end, I want to say no other game is like Star Citizen, and no other time is better to play Star Citizen than now, today. And I will see you guys in Pyro or Stanton in 4.0.